Most managers aren't leading. They're simply surviving. Surviving meetings, Slack pings, fire drills, status updates, last-minute pivots. It's a nonstop treadmill that looks like work, but rarely does it feel like leadership. And the advice, it's either vague or it's impossible to apply in the real world. Things like lead by example, empower your team, be a better listener. Okay, now what? If you've ever nodded along with these tips and you still end up wondering, did I actually move the needle this week? This video's for you. We're skipping the theory. We're going straight into 5 tactical moves that create real shifts in how your team works and how you lead. And if you're still trying to figure out your rhythm, grab my free Manager's Weekly Focus Planner. That's a mouthful. Work on that. Anyways, it is a workbook designed to help you beat overwhelm, set clear priorities, and build a rhythm your team can trust. Link in the description. Okay, let's get into it. Move number 1, the 70% rule. Most new managers hesitate to make the call. You hover. You replay every angle. You wait for the perfect data, and then the moment passes. Someone else decides. Or worse, nothing happens. Here's the fix. If you're 70% confident, that's enough to move. Make the call. Adjust if needed. Let me reframe this. Indecision is its own decision. Leaders don't just gather input, they use it. Jeff Bezos has a useful filter. Type 1 decisions, they're irreversible. Go slow. Type 2 decisions, they're reversible. Move fast. Most decisions we have to deal with are type 2. You're not launching a rocket. You're sending a Slack message with direction. Here's a question to ask yourself. Am I waiting because I truly need more data? Or am I waiting because I'm scared to commit? The distinction? It separates the bottlenecks from the builders. Move number 2. Manage energy, not time. Let's talk productivity. Real productivity, not the kind where your calendar looks full, but your brain is fried at 10 a.m. Top tier managers don't just manage time, they manage their energy. You can calendar block every minute, but if your team's cognitive battery is running at 30%, it doesn't matter what's on the schedule. Nothing high quality is going to come out. So this will be your tactical upgrade. Protect deep work hours. Your own and your team's. Schedule decision-heavy meetings during focus peaks. Usually that's mid-mornings for most teams. And push back on the always available culture. This isn't a wellness trend. It's a performance strategy. Try this next Monday. Let's keep 10 a.m. to noon meeting free so that we can actually think. Small shift, massive ripple effect. Move number 3. Ask the one question that changes everything. One phrase. Total dynamic shift. Listen. What do you need from me to be successful? Don't ask if everything's good. Don't wait until someone struggles out loud. Most employees won't say what they need. Not because they're lazy, because they don't want to seem incapable. But this question, it gives them permission to be honest. It removes the awkwardness, and it puts you in a proactive posture. Not just supportive, but strategic. Here's how to use it. Ask it in your next one-on-one meeting. After delegating a task, before a big sprint, and then pause and let silence stretch. What they say next might surprise you. And speaking of silence, move number 4. Say less, pause more. This one's a subtle one, but it separates strong managers from confident leaders. Most managers rush to fill this silence. They over-explain, they over-justify, and in doing so, they signal nervousness. Great leaders, they pause. You give feedback. You say the thing that needs saying, and then you let it sit. Count to 5 in your head, not out loud, in your head. Let the other person process. Let the moment breathe. What happens next is almost always better than what you'd say to fill the gap. People reveal what they're actually thinking. They lean in, and you've just shifted from transactional conversation to transformational leadership. Try it this week. In a tense moment, say what needs to be said, and then stop. It's going to feel uncomfortable, but that's how you know it's working. Move number 5. We build leaders, not dependents. Here's a harsh truth. If your team can't operate without you, you haven't built a team. You've built a bottleneck. The job isn't to be the fixer. It's to be the builder of other fixers. Here's a phrase that I find usually flips things. What do you think we should do? Say it when someone brings you a problem. It's not a test. It's an invitation. You're saying, I trust your brain. I trust your judgment. And I'll help you think it through if needed. This is how you build critical thinking on your team. This is how you scale your time. And this is how you stop being the answer machine and you start being a leadership developer. Over time, this shift creates a different kind of culture. One where people don't wait, they lead. And here's the bonus move. It's for you. You don't need to master all 5 of these this week. But you do need to pick one. And you need to move. Maybe it's making that 70% call. Maybe it's protecting your focus window or asking better questions. Leadership isn't about knowing everything. It's about making intentional shifts that ripple through your team's behavior, their performance, and their confidence. And if you're ready to stop winging it, I want you to check out the Manager's Playbook. In it is a full system with step-by-step scripts, delegation frameworks, meeting guidelines, and trust-building moves that you can use immediately. Link is in the description. Listen, this leadership thing, you got it. Now go lead like you do. And if you want to hang out a little bit longer, see you in that video. Ciao.